This episode is supported by Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Summer mocktail smoothies just hit the pool deck at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Try the Island Punch Smoothie, Mango Berry Cosmos Smoothie, or Watermelon Mojito Smoothie. Order in the app, online, or in cafe. You're on Tropic Time now.
And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes a guest. She's a comedian, actor, writer, and producer. It's Jessica Golden. Tone Zone is here to put to rest any rumors that he will be replacing Taylor Swift on the Eras Tour. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the Love Bus and say hello to your new best friend, Allison Rosen.
Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison, with her good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison Rosen, Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little barbecue pizzas. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular California Pizza Kitchen, 90s inspired carbohydrate was sent in on Patreon by Isaac S. And yes, I am on Patreon. All sorts of excellent friend zones over there. Just uploaded one with Jenna Kim Jones recently, and also one with my husband and yours, Daniel, where we went through these friendship bracelets that listener Lauren Kelly sent in. Allison Rosen's New Best Friend themed friendship bracelets. And then also got into a recurring that was on a Monday episode, right? The recurring bathroom fight we have.
Oh, who knows? That probably came up on both.
No, I know. It was a riveting content about whether our grass is dead or dying.
Yeah, well.
How does one determine? You can't put a little mirror under it. Snows. Okay, anyway. There's also stuff that is worthwhile for you on my Patreon, patreon.com/Allison Rosen. And if you're going to subscribe, why not go for an annual subscription and then you get 2 months free?
That's a good deal.
Also, while we're talking about good deals, my Substack is blowing up. I now have a bestseller badge, which is how I measure my worth. It's very easy to get a bestseller badge, but it was hard for me. So it's exclusive to me. What are you doing, Daniel?
Turning on the AC.
Turning on the AC?
Down.
Are you cold?
Isn't it hot? Aren't you hot in here?
Oh, you mean you're turning the temperature down?
Yeah.
There. I turned it down even more.
Hot start.
I know.
You don't have to acknowledge everything that happens.
I am a bit of a control freak. I don't know if you know. So when you mess with my air conditioning remote control, I have to know, how did you just fuck it up? Okay.
Right.
So anyway, AllisonRosen.substack.com. I would like to say hello to my guest. Welcome to the show for the very first time,
Hi.
Jessica Golden.
Thank you.
Hello. It is so nice to see you.
Long time coming.
Yes, and we'll explain. Daniel Quantz, hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Going well.
And then welcome back to the show. It's been too long. You've been out on tour with your rock band, Tony Thaxton.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. I just, whenever I come back, it feels like it's been even longer than it has. And I'm like, how does this work? Where are all the things? And yeah.
What does that mean? Because I feel like with an old friend, it's like we've picked up just where we left off. It feels like no time has passed. And every time you see me, you're like, I feel like I haven't seen you in 3 years.
Well, I think I know exactly why. It's because every day on tour feels like it's about 6 days. So, yeah. So it feels like I was gone a lot longer than I was.
So this is the time of the show. It's been many years now that I bring up one of my favorite science fiction books from when I was a kid. And it's not like I have a lot to choose from. I didn't read a lot of science fiction. However, there's a book called...
This is the girl in the locker or something?
No, you're thinking of the Ray Bradbury.
Asimov?
No, it was this guy.
That's all I know. Ray Bradbury. Okay.
But that's the story Daniel was talking about, was a Ray Bradbury story. No, this was William Slater, not like super famous. He wrote some kids science fiction books, but there was one called Singularity about these twins. I believe their names were Barry and Gary, and one of them
Great.
right?
Yeah.
And one of them was more dominant and bullied the other one. I want to say it was Gary, but it could be, oh, wait a minute. Was it Barry and Harry?
Oh no.
Why didn't
Wow, whole different story.
Yeah.
I think anyway, they inherited this old farmhouse and they discover that time moves differently in the farmhouse. And I cannot remember why. No, in like the barn that is essentially see how we're in a studio, which is like a satellite of
I feel
the
like
house?
time moves differently
Yeah,
right now
I
in the studio.
They realize there's a structure on the farmhouse that they've inherited where time is experienced differently.
Okay.
And so to get out from under the boot on his neck that is Barry or Harry or Gary, the pushed around twin grabs all his provisions to spend a year in this outhouse, but it's really just experienced as a night. So to Harry or Gary or Barry, the alpha one, his brother was gone for a night. But to Barry, Harry or Gary, the beta one, he was in there for a year and he comes out and he's a year older. So fuck you, other twin.
Wow.
Thought that's where you were going. That he
Yeah.
was older, so he's like can no longer be bullied.
Right. Now, the truth is, I don't know that a 19-year-old can't be bullied by an 18-year-old, but in the story, it was very compelling.
You know that gravity isn't consistent around the Earth, and that they've mapped gravity on the globe, and that there's certain areas that experience more intense gravity. And if that's the case, then time does, where there's more gravity, time moves differently than where there's less gravity. So that's actually
How does it move? Like, does you feel like it's more or less?
I think that the greater the proximity to the mass, the greater the gravity, the
Classic Gary. I'm sure
Faster.
this was what Gary
Yeah,
was thinking.
it is
the
what he was
faster.
saying.
Well, you asked the boring question. I was just telling you that isn't.
Well, we should
Totally
find
science
the place where there's less gravity and go there.
Yeah, it's going to
We'll
be
age
so
slowly.
And, like, weight
infinitesimally
loss, you know.
small.
Yeah,
lot of pros.
all
Yeah.
the things. Okay,
Right.
so the way we know Jessica is our kids went to the same preschool.
Yeah.
And I met you during orientation, and I thought you were funny and lovely and not orientation. What do they call
They're
was
like
it
the
toddler
the
class
toddler
or
class.
separation?
But we knew
or-
of each other.
Well, I didn't realize though
Okay,
I didn't realize until sometime after the year had started.
yeah.
And you responded to an email, and I saw that your name was Jessica Golden. I just knew you as Jessica.
Yeah, same. It took me a minute to
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was like, Jessica Golden, wait a minute. I know that name because at the very end of the Corolla Newsgirl search, they had narrowed it down to 4 people, and you were one of them.
Right.
And you had a very distinctive low voice. And I'm like, oh my God, she has a distinctive, like, that's her. I
Right.
didn't realize that all of that was her. But did you didn't realize
I
that?
did. When I saw your last name, I was like, oh, duh. I mean, yeah, duh. That's still a popular expression. I
say it all the time.
Yeah, of course. And I can clarify, because I don't like open loops, your bathroom fight, it was on your most recent episode.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Thank you very much.
Also, that's where I was like, oh, you guys actually have like a nice, you don't fight like lesbians, I'll tell you that.
Oh,
Wait, how do lesbians fight? And you are
my
one, in
gosh.
case people are like,
I mean,
here we go.
or more my wife is. You could also just say that. But no, you just like, I just, not that all men are all women, but like, you don't feel the need. You're okay to just be like, okay, yeah, actually, I can see your point and move on. I feel like 2 women, there's a little bit more to hash out,
Oh, interesting.
you know? And yeah,
I have heard it was Cameron Esposito who was on my show, and she's like, the joke is that lesbians are constantly processing, like needing to process things.
We're not. You know what I mean? But it's not, I'd like to think we're not quite so annoying. Not that, with all due respect to those who are annoying. No, but yeah, I think we both try to be thoughtful about things, but we don't let things go maybe as easily as I heard you're like, if you did keep saying it that way, it would be okay.
Yeah.
For anyone who didn't,
Oh, this is about the way that you communicate needing to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right.
So, do you know about this, Tony?
He was on tour with Taylor.
Yeah.
Right. Trying to replace Taylor.
Yeah, I think you talked about it on the
Yes.
episode.
So,
the other day, right?
okay,
Yeah.
for anyone who didn't hear the episode, when Daniel is in the bathroom and I need to use it, I'll say, hey, Daniel, can I get in when you're done? Which I feel like is a polite way to say, get off the toilet, please. I mean, actually, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you're done, I'm just letting you know there's someone in line.
You're putting the quarter on the arcade machine.
Exactly. But Daniel,
Maybe that would solve the problem, right?
yes.
Yes, exactly.
But Daniel doesn't like the way I say it because he feels it's an insane, quote, insane question. And instead thinks I should say what?
I need to use the bathroom. Is it gonna be long, or just say you need to use the bathroom?
Yes, because that's more direct.
Because the question, like, as though I would.
It's like you're going to say no.
Yeah, no, you can't. No.
Right.
I have actually.
Not today. Is it Thursday? Then no.
You're really not. What I'm doing in
I've
here is
booked
going
it.
to end usage of this bathroom for a while. So you might want to make other plans. No, of course you can use the bathroom when I'm done.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is,
Who cares what happens to the bathroom when I'm done?
right. And we realize what I'm really saying is, are you done? Can I use the bathroom?
Right. It's like you're Yoda. You're changing the
Yes.
Yeah. I generally prefer you just ask the question you're asking
know.
instead of like masking it behind another question. It bothers me.
Well, it's funny because that's something that bothers me normally.
And you do it.
Being indirect.
See, whatever Allison accuses you of is what she's guilty of.
You pointing your finger at someone.
right.
There's
Right.
four.
Ooh,
I know. But I feel like we do a lot of processing, don't you?
He's
I
a
guess-
sensitive soul.
I've been beaten down so far that that I have no choice but to engage in processing. I didn't always. I think
Well,
I've learned to.
I heard you say that you guys are in couples therapy, and I like how you put it, not because there's any major crisis, just because to work, get some new tools. We do the same.
Yeah.
We kind of went into our marriage with couples. I think if you're starting it, it's a great sign. No, but
I think it gets stigmatized, and a lot of people don't want to do it because they think, oh, well, that means the relationship is ending. It's like, no, it just helps you learn how to communicate with the other person. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know I can't necessarily explain how to communicate with me all the time. And so, you have someone there who
Yeah.
can kind of like be the interpreter and sort of say, okay, this person's saying this. And I don't know.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
Yeah.
And we had been talking about doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like even going back to it's small things, but things that happen on our honeymoon of like, put that on the list. that was not me.
Yeah.
So, eventually this is something we should figure out.
Yeah, and also like the relationship could be totally secure and fine, and there's still going to be things that are like resentments that you're not talking about. It doesn't mean it's going to sink the relationship,
Right.
but it's like it might be like a little cavity, and you want to go get that taken care of before it becomes something really.
Or you compile a list of things you want to tell and the other one about. You can do that one.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not really that big a goal, but
not really, but there's definitely if a conflict comes up,
Yeah.
and I know our session's coming up, I'm like, well, that's coming up.
right.
That'll be something we talk about.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys were doing it at the beginning of your relationship.
Maybe I don't remember how early in, probably a year or 2 years. I don't remember. We've been together 13 now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it works, I guess. But
How'd you meet?
We met on an app. On an app. Yeah, we did. She was in Utah. I was here. I like to say I took my search global one day, just to see I don't know. And basically,
Whoa.
I think we were both, it's so dumb. It started with a wink, because I think you could do that at that time. And then and I didn't even have a picture up. Basically, we met a month later. We started talking. And then, I don't know, we just clicked. And because first I was like, in no world am I really going to date someone that's living in Salt Lake. You know what I mean? Not that I guess it was so crazy, but I just didn't think much of it. But she was great. And yeah.
And then she moved here instead of you moving there.
Well, that was not going to happen. I mean, definitely she was looking to move.
Yeah.
And I think, the timing worked out.
Right.
Does she like it here?
She does. She misses, Utah,
Yeah.
so we go back a lot. But I think she likes the same kinds of things that probably all of us like, and dislikes also those things.
Right.
But yeah, she's grown to like it a lot more.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's always good.
Yeah.
So Tony,
Yes.
tell us about the tour. Each day was 6 days.
Each day was 6
Like
days.
Harry, Barry, and Gary.
Yes. Yeah. No, it was good, but yeah, it's long because the days are. I was telling Daniel before the show, with the exception of sound check, don't really have anything I have to do until nighttime, really. So it's a lot of just, what do I do with myself now?
Just drugs and groupies, right?
Exactly. You know me so well. But yeah, it was good. The shows were really fun. That's what it's all about. The shows are the fun part, and the other parts can be fun, but they can also drive you insane. But yeah,
Did you
good.
find
It's really
stuff
nice
to
come
do
home.
in each? Because in my very, very limited touring with the Adam Carolla show, if I knew that I had to begin getting ready for the show at this time and I have to like prepare the news and all that, I feel like the other people who would, all the guys basically, they would like go see a movie in the day or they would do something. But I found that too stressful. I felt like I have to just devote my day to getting ready.
It's not that I even have to get ready. If I'll go out like maybe usually by myself and I'll just like go take walks and see what I stumble into, or I'll see if there's like a record store or something I want to check out nearby. But wow, completely lost my train of thought. What did you ask me? Oh, if I do things during the day.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, beyond that, not really, because I don't like that either. I've stopped. We can be in a city where I have like a good friend there that I haven't seen in a while. I have stopped
Letting them know you're in town.
sometimes, yeah, but I won't go to dinner with people before the show because one, I don't want to have like a big dinner, but also I just will not enjoy myself because all I will do is constantly look at what time it is to see if I, and I'm just, and I forget everything. It's like, how long does dinner take? Is it like 4 hours? Is that right? So yeah, it took me like 20 years to figure that out. Like, don't go to dinner before the show with someone because you're not going to enjoy yourself. They're not going to enjoy hanging out with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, beyond that, just kind of just walk around and hope there's fun things around. But some days you're kind of not really around anything.
Well, I'm sorry I missed the LA show. I am bummed. So he plays in a band called Motion City Soundtrack, and they were playing at the Nova Theater in downtown.
Novo, yeah.
Novo.
Formerly the Nokia, formerly the Microsoft. It's had like a million names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In
Big deal.
downtown LA, near the Staples Center. And I really wanted to go, but I knew I would be going alone because we didn't have childcare or anything. So Daniel would be staying with the kids. And something about that whole thing this makes me seem like a very weak,
No, I get it.
coddled
Downtown.
person. It seemed scary to me, like
I get that.
because I have a very terrible sense of direction. So I'm like, first of all, finding a parking spot is
Take
going
a
to be.
Take an Uber, take a Lyft.
But even that, I felt like I don't know how far away they're going to drop me from the venue.
You'll be fine.
Well, I would have been. That's the thing.
Well, a concert by yourself is different than a movie by yourself. I
Yeah,
can see.
it's more the location. If
I
it was
feel
a
like
concert by
if you were
myself
more
with a troupe-
familiar with downtown LA, you might have felt better about it. But you
I
just
just
have
figured,
no familiarity with it.
like when we went to the wrestling shows, and it was a nightmare to figure out where parking was. I just felt like I'm going to park far away. I'm going to feel sketched out trying to find the theater. What if I can't find it? Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so then two different people let me know the show was so good. And I'm like, how was the parking, by the way? And they said it was super easy. Of course. And then I saw Jackie. We went to Sandy's birthday party, and she said that she had gone and parking was super easy. And then there was like a little VIP section, and then she went backstage and said goodbye. And I live for access. I was like, God damn it, I missed out.
Yeah, you would have had people there you knew. You wouldn't have been alone.
Who else? I didn't know Jackie was
You're
going.
putting me on the spot. I
know you just did a bunch of shows. So you can't remember what.
I can't
well,
remember.
Flo would have been there.
Yeah, Flo would have been there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think
Was
the LA
Pete
was
there?
my favorite show of the tour. Pete was not there.
Oh, what's
I
his
think-
excuse?
I think he just missed it.
Yeah, what kind of
I think he
friend would miss
texted me like a couple days later. He's like, I think you just played here and I missed it. Sorry about that.
So wait, it was your favorite show of the tour? Was it
think so.
because I wasn't there?
Yeah. It was great.
Like a breath of fresh air.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, next time.
That's what you said last time.
Well,
Ooh, it's getting worse by the second.
Tony, do not let her off the hook.
Oh, I won't.
do you know when the next time will be?
No.
It might be a long.
Yeah.
I don't
Could be a
think so.
long
I don't
time.
think so because it seems like these tours are successful and
Wow.
fun for all involved.
Yeah. I don't know. There's nothing, there's no real like tours booked at the moment. So we'll see.
Well, that could change by the end of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the end of this episode.
Yeah, you
We could
never
have
know.
the
You could have
Allison
someone-
Rosen encore,
Right.
performance in LA.
And we could
Right.
have Daniel could introduce us.
Oh yes! Oh my God!
Yes!
You don't.
You consider
get
it
a
live
full
from
intro?
an acapella show right now?
Right.
Would that
Ooh,
be?
That would be amazing. Who books your tour for you?
What's
his name?
Agent Ron Opaleski at William Morris.
Ron could be working his tail off right now
Yeah.
to line up another tour. Because you know how those agents are. If you don't get paid, he doesn't get paid. So
Well-
right now, Ron is like, I got to make it happen.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's got lots of younger bands that actually tour a lot more than we do these days. We're just kind of sometimes now.
But Ron is trying to change that.
If I know Ron,
If I
he's
know
on it right now.
Right. Ron is making some calls. He's smoking a big fat cigar in his suit, just like Muppets Take Manhattan. Did he smoke a cigar?
Sure.
I
Yeah,
feel like
probably.
he's starting a whisper campaign. All right. And then, Jessica, you've been traveling too.
Yes, we were just in Greece.
How was it?
Yeah, it was incredible. We went with a friend who grew up in Greece and has been going to this island where we went for years. So it's such a different experience going with someone who knows the place and can take you to all the spots that aren't typical tourist spots. And it was really cool. It was really beautiful and so nice.
Had you been to
relaxing.
Greece before?
I had, but not like this.
Right.
And I'd only been like briefly when I was on a trip going through the Mediterranean, like with my family, and we stopped at a couple places, but I didn't stay on an island for an extended period of time like this.
I've never stayed on. Well, I've been to Hawaii, but other than that, I haven't had a lot of island experiences, I'd say.
I recommend it. It was
Is this one of those islands with the white, like?
Yes. Yes.
that's so
Aren't they
beautiful.
all there? Have you been to Greece, Tony?
I don't know.
I've not.
Okay. Nor have I. But they all look like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yeah,
There's a lot of Greek content in that movie.
Yeah, that and
My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
yeah.
What were you going
else?
to say?
No, that's it. That's what I was going to say.
I feel like that one takes place here, so I don't know if it has as many.
Oh, does it?
My
That's
Big Fat
right.
Greek Wedding.
Yes.
I mean, she hasn't seen it. You haven't seen it, have you?
I feel like there's some Windex in it. I think I've seen it at the beginning.
Solid.
The dad uses Windex for everything. I think that's in the opening
I think you're
credits.
right about. I
Thank
think that,
you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia also takes
in
place
Greece.
in Greece. Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
And fun fact, I think we just saw Nia Vardalos, that's how you say it, at Alex Edelman's show.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Could have asked her, right? Had I known this
Yep.
was going to come up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't more
too
prepared.
bad.
What is the
It's
time code for the Windex content?
I hope that
Said
when
that.
if you're like on cable and like when the movie's on, it has like a 1-sentence description. I hope it mentions the Windex on that movie.
It says this movie does not take place in Greece, but there's
there is Windex.
a lot of Windex stuff in it.
There might be a scene in Greece. It's been a while since I saw it, but I thought it was predominantly.
Right.
I feel like
On
they talk
US
about
soil.
Windex, then they flash to the old country, but I could be wrong.
You know what? That's very possible.
and it's all like a 1950s diner sort of look when you get there, right? Greece.
Yes.
I wonder if anybody's gone to
I just
Greece
got it,
thinking
and
thinking that it was no. This is a stupid idea.
Okay. Yeah, it took me a second.
So you just got back last night, right?
Oh wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing that she's here?
Yeah, I wouldn't be here.
I mean, yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to be shocked if she's like, as it turns out, I just can't do it.
I wouldn't do that.
I mean,
Not
I
like
don't.
the
I'm not saying that I think you're someone who'd do that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no.
Everyone else would.
Right.
Are you tired?
Yeah, no, I'm a little tired. So if I'm not firing on all cylinders, that could be part of it. But
How did the kids enjoy it?
they did not come, so we enjoyed
Oh
it.
my god! How did you swing that?
Well, this is the first time we've done a trip without our kids like that.
Yeah.
And this was like a once in a lifetime. Like our friends that have been going there. They've been inviting us for years, and
Yeah.
so we finally worked it out to be able to do it. And we're like, we're
See,
just gonna
Tony,
figure this
here's
out.
an example of someone who finally did do the thing that they
Right.
kept saying next time, next time, next time.
And we did say next time quite a few times. So.
Why are you pointing this out to me? I'm not the one who keeps saying I'm going to come.
Because I feel like the implicit threat was, and not a threat, but I just feel like eventually you're going to stop inviting me.
Yeah.
But don't, because look, they went to
Right.
Greece.
Well, maybe if I stop inviting you, then you'll come.
Ooh.
Oh, that's interesting.
Tricks like that do work on me. I do want what I can't have. Anyway, sorry, I cut
But
you
I won't
off.
give you.
No,
I won't give you a backstage pass.
No, don't do that.
Oh, that's
Don't do that. You wouldn't dare. No, I didn't even know if I was going to have a backstage pass. Maybe if
Come
you'd
on.
front loaded with that.
Hey,
Oh.
what you think I would let you in and not let you come back?
I mean, we've talked ad nauseum about the whole RJ City debacle where he ejected me backstage from that
that's
show.
different.
But this is not
I know.
RJ City.
That's like a locker room.
I want in. I want into that locker room. I know. Okay, so you were saying, you were talking about not bringing the kids.
yes. What specifically was I saying about not just that? Oh, you
Just you
asked if the
managed
kids
to
have
swing
fun.
it.
Actually, the kids did have fun though, just not in Greece.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, they had a really nice week. We had a really nice. It was a win-win.
Yeah,
But I was so excited to see them.
I bet.
Yeah, when we got back. So, yeah. But you guys are taking your kids to Japan, which
Oh,
is
we're
pretty
taking-
incredible.
Yeah.
We're crazy. Yeah. So for anyone who isn't up to date, this also in addition to blowing the lid off of our fight about how I phrase my request to use the bathroom after Daniel sets up camp in there. We are going to Japan this summer. We're insane.
Whoa!
Thank you. Is that Betsy?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that kind of sounded like me.
It did. Oh my gosh. We need to get Betsy and Jessica on a show together. Do you know Betsy Sodaro? She's hilarious.
I know who she is. She's
Yeah.
funny. She's
She
really
has
funny.
That's great.
Does she have play more Betsy. Let's see if she sounds similar.
Wait, what?
No, you do it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Ooh, that one was good. That one was
Yeah.
especially good.
Yeah.
Well, if she needs a
voice
matching,
double.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I missed my cue on that one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry.
Drinking
Let's do it
water.
again.
It was
Let's do it
also
again.
a response in a way.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. These are this is amazing. Anyway, we are insane people who are taking our dog to Japan for surgery to save her life.
We actually were just talking about this. Guess where? In Greece.
You were talking
We
about
have that kind of surgery.
Oh.
Like, because they do it in a couple other places. I
Yes.
think you mentioned the UK.
yeah.
But does Germany do? I don't remember.
I'm not
I
aware
don't
of
know.
Germany
I
doing
don't know if I'd
it.
want to. Yeah, maybe
I
it
think
wasn't
Florida
Germany.
might have started doing it. University
I
of
heard
Florida.
that, but
Japan they pioneered it and they
Okay.
have the best success rates and they do
Okay.
like hundreds of they do more of them than anyone else. So yeah, they do it at this clinic in Japan that started it, that's been doing it for like 15 years. It's mitral valve repair surgery for anyone who's
Okay.
wondering. And then there is a clinic in the UK that does it that does not have as good success rates. Although there's plenty of dogs that have been saved, I suppose, there. And then they're just starting to do it at University of Florida. But Japan is actually the cheapest, which is surprising. So
And nobody takes their jobs more serious than Japan. Like seriously.
honestly,
Yeah.
that's what that's why I'm way more tempted by Japan than Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, Japanese culture.
many reasons.
They don't. It's not a tipping culture, and the reason it's not a tipping culture is because you're expected, like the idea of a tip to encourage or reward, as kind of implies that it's not always the case that it's great service. And in Japan, it's like you're expected to always be the absolute best at your job anyway.
Yeah.
So,
and
so there's
anywhere,
no tip.
like McDonald's. Seriously. I've witnessed it.
Wow.
Well, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible trip. It sounds like.
Yeah,
gonna
we're
be
very.
hot.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be real.
Yes,
humid.
this is what I've heard. Have you been there, Jessica?
I have not.
Okay, so apparently we're going at like the worst time to go. Just in
Okay.
terms of,
Weather.
Crowded or
no, it's so hot and humid. It's like miserable. I'm actually hoping it'll be less crowded for that reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right now, like tourism has been really high in Japan right now because the yen is so weak.
Yeah.
Everything's like half the price, so it's really affordable. But that means everything's been crowded. Yeah, so we're hoping at least if it's both crowded and hot, that's going to suck.
Your dog's life will hopefully be
Yes.
saved. So I'd say that's worth
Are
it.
you going to Tokyo or where are you going?
Yokohama.
Tokyo,
Okay.
it's
Which is,
basically
yeah,
Tokyo.
basically,
Yes.
yeah. I've been there too.
So dumb me. That's the same. Is it actually the same? Is it like saying Burbank, LA?
I think it basically.
They're right
it's
next to
yeah.
each other. Yeah.
Got it. Yes. The clinic is in Tokyo, though.
Gotcha.
Which
Yeah,
I guess is
I
the
think
same.
Tokyo's going to be busy no matter what.
Yeah.
I think it's just always crowded.
Have you?
there.
So have you been there in the summer?
Oh yeah. First time I ever went was in the summer.
I'm trying to understand just how brutal it's going to be.
It's some of the worst humidity I've ever felt.
Okay. So it feels crazy hot.
You're walking through soup.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I was
But
in,
it's so great. Though everything is so great and the people are so great. You're like, it sucks, but you're having a great time.
And I hear you cannot get a bad meal there. That
Yeah.
even in like a gas station.
I love that.
yeah, there's
that's
like a whole thing
literally-
with the konbinis, the convenience stores, where like the food there is actually good,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
people talk about the food you get at the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally the thing I love doing there is just going in. And sometimes like, I'm not even sure what this is, but I'm going to try it.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you'll strike out, but a lot of times it's really good.
Remember do you remember recently what we overheard Owen asking for that he wanted to eat?
I mean, what time? What do you mean?
Tentacles. Do we have any tentacles?
Was that what he was actually trying to ask?
I don't know what he actually wanted.
I don't know.
He wanted tentacles for eating.
And he seemed surprised that we didn't just have tentacles. Like,
I wonder what he was asking for.
honestly, maybe calamari. I don't know.
Oh, still.
Octopus. I don't know.
Unclear. I think he was asking for some kind of sea creature.
I mean, let's just say my nephew, when he was young, once asked for Christmas, he wanted whale blubber. So maybe it's the
Was
same
he
kind
making
of.
perfume or a candle? What was happening? Tallow.
Huh?
I said, was he making perfume or a
Oh,
candle?
No, I believe he was obsessed with March of the Penguins at the time,
Oh.
and he had heard about it and that, and so he decided that was what he wanted. So maybe something he watched was mentioning tentacles.
I have to ask. You said that sometimes you don't even know what you're eating.
Yeah,
That's what made me think of tentacles, because that's
Mm.
would be my fear is
Yeah.
that like, oh, I just ingested tentacles or something that I wouldn't, a talon with a foot attached or something that I wouldn't want.
but when I have done that, it's usually more like some kind of like snacky thing, like not like
Okay.
a sandwich or something, you know?
Right.
Like yeah,
But it
something
could
that-
be like prawn flavored, which Daniel loves. But
Could be.
Are
But-
you a fan of shrimp flavoring?
I don't know about shrimp flavoring. I like
Shrimp.
shrimp, but yeah, I don't know about like,
Shrimp toast, shrimp crackers.
No.
Shrimp gum.
I do love shrimp gum.
I
Yeah,
like
that's
those-
a great
Yeah,
one.
the shrimp chips are very good. You do have to be careful. They do eat horse meat there, and so you have to, make sure you're.
Would you eat like a horse meat snack?
Would I
Mm-hmm.
like intentionally?
What if accidentally you found out your snack had horse meat in it?
I probably would not be too into that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it on purpose. The first time I ever had tongue was in Japan, and I didn't realize that's what I was having.
Was
And
it good?
It literally, after I ate it, I was like, "That's like some of the best meat I've ever had." And then I found out it was tongue, and I was like, "Well, I guess tongue is really good."
Did someone who served it to you? Did someone in your let me rephrase. Did anyone know that you were eating tongue?
Yeah, because I think it was because normally when you go over there on tour, normally after the shows, the promoters will take you out to dinner. And
Ron
so they,
Ovolowski or whatever. Ovolowski.
Ron's move.
the local promoter.
Oh,
So
okay.
they'll take you out and then they handle, they'll help
Ordering.
order everything.
Right.
And usually they'll just order a bunch of stuff and stuff comes.
Was it
So
like tongue sushi? Was just like a tongue on rice?
it
No,
was?
just going,
It was like a Korean barbecue place.
Ooh.
Yeah,
They have Japanese Korean barbecue, which is
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
What does that
Delicious.
mean? I mean, sorry, I know what Korean barbecue is. What does Japanese Korean barbecue mean?
I think it's just a slightly different style, but
Yeah.
it's the same idea.
Just
It's
all-
like
all tongue. It's tongue shared 49
You
ways.
can eat tongue.
It's got the grill. There's places here you could go to
Yeah,
that are chains.
there's some really great ones.
Yeah.
I've never had tongue, but I hear it's. Have you had it, Jessica?
No,
I heard
not
it's
a-
really
not a fan.
good.
I think if you were to do it, Japan would probably be the place because I have. After having it there, then I tried at a place here. And I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
this,
Oh, you went
this is-
back for
Yeah,
more.
because that's how
Wow.
much I was like. Seriously, that
You had a
one
taste for
was
tongue.
great, and I was like, I know it sounds crazy, but let's get it. It'll be. And then again, I was like, oh, this isn't nearly as good.
Did you get it at a Korean barbecue place?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Was it a Japanese Korean barbecue?
Right.
place?
yeah, actually, yes. It's actually technically it's just called Japanese barbecue, but yeah. There's a place called Gyukaku.
Yeah.
It's a chain.
That's
that,
a fun
They
thing
have
to
those
say.
here. They
Yeah,
have those
it's
here.
that's like
That's
one
what
of
you're
our favorite
saying.
places to go eat.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
At so
Do
one
they
of
have the tongue at the ones here?
Yeah,
The Gyukaku?
that's where I tried.
Oh,
Do they
it
have
wasn't
one
as good.
downtown by where you play? Because that could be.
next time I'll go, I'll see the show and I'll get some tongue.
There is one in Burbank.
Really?
Yeah, it's
What's
near-
it called? Goo Cuckoo?
Yeah,
Gyu.
GYU-KAKU.
What if Goo Cuckoo was next to Kookaroo?
What if? What a world.
Are there kookaroos anymore?
Yeah,
No, I don't think
yeah.
so. I don't
I think
think
they
so.
flew. Cuckoo.
The Gyukaku came in and people got too confused. There
Right.
can only be one Kukuku in this
Right.
town.
Right.
They ran out of the ooh sound.
Did they? Mm-hmm. That's too bad.
I know. I had something. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to say. There's a mom in our former class,
Okay.
who would host parents' night and have a taco cart.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh, yeah.
one of the, I'm not going to make the whole show about talking about tongue, just a little bit more.
Oh, did
but
they serve tongue at one
It
of
was,
those?
yes, it was
No,
always lengua, beef, or chicken.
I should have
So
tried it.
what? Now I'm the person that ate tongue and didn't know it because I
If
do
you
not recall.
did you have one of each? Because
No.
that's typical. Okay.
No, I think I probably just had chicken.
yeah.
Oh.
No.
Well, if we'd had this conversation beforehand, I might have tried it.
Yeah, I think you
Unknowingly,
knew.
or-
No, but I didn't know it was good.
Well,
Oh,
I'm not going
okay.
to say all of it is good, but yeah, and I've never had it like in because I know it is like tacos sometimes.
Right.
I've never had it in Mexican food, but
Yeah, you don't
I'm
see
sure it
a
was
lot
good.
of taco carts.
Right.
A lot
The
of
thing-
taco catering.
The thing is, I think beef generally in Japan probably is better
Yeah.
because it's it's ranched differently,
yeah,
and so
kind of everything is better.
Yeah, I was
well,
gonna say.
what are the
probably.
reasons? So they'll sell fruit there that's super expensive. You'll get like one watermelon that's $100 or something, or so like 4 strawberries for $80 or something, and they can't farm in mass quantities there, so their farmers had to change the way that they approached it, and instead of just farming mass amounts, they just tried to make the best tasting version of each thing, and so everything is like really carefully cared for, and all the fruit they just sit there and they tend to it, and and so that's why it's so expensive, but it
Okay.
tastes amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently everything's like better and cheaper there.
Yeah,
Except for their watermelon. I mean, better, but
It's
not
more
cheaper.
expensive, right?
Not cheaper.
Should I get a hysterectomy while I'm there?
why not?
Oh, is that on the table too?
I mean, maybe the vet could do it.
There is that
done.
question of like, okay, wait a second. What are the things that we
can
are
do-
planning to
I know.
buy that we could just get in Japan for half as much because it's cheaper? I'm thinking we need new knives. Japanese knives
Yeah.
are great. Maybe some denim. But what are the things?
The fact that you're calling it denim and not jeans is very fashionista.
I don't want to limit the denim purchase.
Are you going to get a
just
jean
jeans.
jacket? Like, what are they? Where else can one
honey,
put it?
When I'm in Japan, I'm just going to
A
let the
denim
spirit take me.
couch?
You
Denim-
might come back with a backpack. Yeah, you know.
I might get a bolt of denim and just make my own stuff.
You can do
know?
a lot of karaoke while you're there.
Oh, I
They
wish
do
I
so much
didn't hate
karaoke.
karaoke.
Well, that I don't get as just a regular
Do you like
part of life.
karaoke, Tony?
I think this is about the 15th time this has been.
Oh my god! Allison.
Well,
it
I can't
depend-
remember what your answer is.
it just
it's like
it depends.
I think Tony doesn't hate it as much as I want him to.
No, I don't. It just
Yeah.
it depends on the scenario. Like if I'm with a bunch of friends and people are like, I'll hang out and do that. Yeah, but if I unexpectedly like go to a
Oh,
ure or
right.
something and that's happening,
karaoke
oh, man,
ambush.
yeah.
I've only done karaoke like maybe twice, and I can kind of see in a big group setting the fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I see a lot of the like Japanese karaoke or wherever, it's often just like a couple people in a room.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like have you been to one of those places here where you get a room and it's like
and that I don't understand. Like I can't understand just two people.
Yeah.
Just doing karaoke.
I know,
like,
it is
why? What is this?
you're
why are you
passionate
doing
about
this?
it. I think if you're one of those two,
It's a different mindset.
Yeah.
Like, but why are you doing it if it's just two of you? You're not doing it to be fun. Like, hey, tonight I'm a rock star. It's more like
It's a passion.
listen,
Yeah.
I'm going to sing this song for real.
The love of the game. I mean,
love
that's
of the
their,
game.
yeah.
Exactly. Jessica.
Yes.
Okay, so I noticed at the most adorable preschool graduation ceremony,
The cutest.
how
Caps and
sweet
gowns.
was that? I know, so sweet.
Cute.
I noticed you are so friendly and so outgoing. It was early in the morning, not painfully early, but it was like 9 in the morning. You're friends with everyone. How do you become like you?
Wow, that's such a compliment. Thank you. First of all, I feel like the people are so nice there.
They are.
Like it's a great.
They are, but juxtaposed with me, like I just
You're friends
sat
with
there.
nobody.
I just sat there in my chair for 4-year-olds, and
the chair.
the chairs are very small. They're little kid chairs, and I wasn't like greeting everyone and being friendly with everyone like you were. Even though everyone is nice.
But maybe
Except for
you may not like talking to people as much. Like,
That's the
I
thing.
also come from a family. My mom used to talk to everyone. Like, my dad's joke with my mom, she would meet someone and he'd be like, Shelly, give them the form, like the interview form. Because she would always, like, when I did a birthday book for her, or like when you put together a video for your parents for their birthday or something, the thing everyone said was I was by myself, like on this or wherever I was. I didn't want to talk to anybody. This woman comes right up to me. I'm like, oh, great. What does she want to talk about? But then 2 hours later, we're best friends.
Oh, that's
and
so
I
sweet.
feel like it's kind of a learned thing. Like I genuinely like people, unless there's a reason not to.
Did you have
I like the people there.
Did you have a good childhood with people? Like,
Oh, perfect. Nothing went wrong.
no. But I mean,
That's why she's a comedian.
Yeah.
because I think a lot about. I have lately been thinking about how my default is to just hate people.
Really?
Not hate,
but you're
but
so
like
friendly, I thought.
No, I don't mean
In
like
my experience.
not like interpersonally, but more just like when I'm out in the world. I it's not hate is too strong, but I just have a general like. I don't really like
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
others.
Well, okay.
Okay,
so-
like my default is to not like or trust people, but and it takes a little bit. I'm not open. And I've been trying to diagnose that, like why I don't want to be like that, because it's much more enriching and fulfilling life if you can be open to other people, and yet I just have this like fuck you kind of like.
Well, maybe people have given you reason to have that, right?
So that's what I
Like-
figured out is like as a child I can think of just a catalog of experiences where it was just like, oh yeah, that's why I'm pissed off still about the way that certain people treated me or whatever, and that's why I'm wondering, did you have formative things like that, or are you?
Well, okay, just slight sidetrack from that. So Nikki is more of an earn your stripes, and I'm more of a I like you until you show me a reason not to.
That's what
That's
I
a
wanna be
good
like.
match then. I mean, well,
Yeah,
in the sense that
right.
you guys probably balance each other.
Well, I learned really quickly. So when she first moved to LA and I was introducing her to all these people, I'm like, oh, she loves this. She's meeting all my friends. This is great. And then after like a few of those nights, like, I don't know, a handful, she's like, hey, Jess, are we still meeting more people? And I realized she actually did not. She's very discerning. And you guys maybe are more of that kind of person where you'd rather have close relationships with a few people and have them be, not that I want inauthentic connections, but I mean, some people just prefer.
I'm more. I'd put it differently. I'm more comfortable that way. It's not what I want.
Okay.
Like I want to be the kind of person
Same.
that is.
We want
like-
to be
Guys,
Jessica.
I
We're
want to be-
not.
I loved you. Should watch my webinar.
No, I want to be like. Yeah, I want to be like. Hey, all these people go up and happy to see them, but I just can't. I'm just not that way, and it's not that I actually dislike anybody. I don't. It's that I'm I have this disposition that I can't help.
Like locked inside
like-
ourselves a little bit.
like
Well, it would
it's
probably
just
feel inauthentic for you to be the person who's like, hey, like Nikki wouldn't do that either.
Right, and maybe it's an introvert extrovert thing because I do get it. It's exhausting when I try to be that way. Like it's just like I'm pushing. It's like a lot of energy to push past it. But yeah, I just often I'm like, I would be happier if I were if I were more friendly with all these people, and yet I can't do it.
Well, maybe it lies somewhere in the middle because I find you both are always very friendly and talkative. Maybe I've come up to you and I didn't know you didn't want to talk.
No. We've never not wanted to talk. No, it's not that we don't want to. First of all, we love you and we've never not wanted to talk to you. But also, I don't think it's that we don't want to talk to other people either. It's more like I watched you that morning and I thought, oh, she is a part of these people's lives and they're part of hers in a stronger way than we are with other people at that school, I think.
Jessica, you've done play dates with people too.
Yeah.
That's not something we've really done.
Well, maybe we could do one.
Yes.
Well, yeah, definitely. We love your kids.
And Lennon loves Owen. He thinks that he's hilarious.
Owen is
Loves him, yeah.
He's such a character.
Yeah. I think people like you are actually easy to be friends with, and it's more for me. It's more an issue with the people that are like me.
I see what you're
So
saying.
like you wouldn't have a problem with a person like me, but I would. Like if I met someone like me, I would hate him.
No, you would not.
Absolutely. Like I have found myself in like situations. Usually it's like concerts I've been where it's like just such a specific demographic. This is like just Daniel Kwanz's at this event, and it's just like I'm just full of like, oh, I fucking hate all of you. Like I don't know what it is. Like, and they're probably thinking the same thing, and it's just like this like. Whereas we would all get along if we could just get past this stupid predisposition.
Okay, so I relate to, when you travel and I go from someone who genuinely or generally likes people to like, everyone's fucking annoying. You're in my way. And,
Yes.
Just the things that I would give a little more grace for in other situations, I have less patience for. And so I think that sometimes but then if I talk to them, let's say someone who I think is annoying, like the people behind us in customs, I'm sure if I turned around and asked them something and they were really nice, I'd be like, I feel like such an asshole. They were so nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you have preconceived notions of people or like that's a new thought. I'm sure you never thought. No, but
I think we might be a little bit shy. I mean, I am shy actually. And I know that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you're like just bad at because I'm totally this way. I can't do the approach.
Right.
Like it's like kind of like you were saying. I'll talk to you if you want to talk, but you got to come to me.
Yeah.
Because we had like meet and greets every day on the tour, and it would just kind of be like we just sort of like people could come talk to us, and I just stand there like. If they want to come talk to me, they can talk, but I can't. Especially in that
hard,
scenario, because
yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, you want to talk to me?" Is what that feels like,
I'm
So,
famous.
Yeah.
Want to talk to me?
Yeah, can't do it.
Yeah, I think I get shy sometimes, but that reads as unfriendliness.
well, how did you guys connect?
I just reached out to her.
Okay.
Saturday.
Like,
So he heard me on the show, on the
Okay.
Adam
Oh, no
Carolla show.
way.
Yeah, and
no one reached out to me saying they wanted to get married.
You didn't get the job if you had.
Right, yeah, exactly.
You could be married to Daniel. It would be a radical shift in
A whole different
your
life.
life,
Yeah.
but that came with it. It was one of the perks. No, So he heard me, and then he started reading a bunch of stuff I had. I feel like I'm not presenting it well. Read some stuff I had written on my website, and I don't know if you like read some articles that I had written as well, and then sent me a really nice email complimenting my writing, and I forget if there was other stuff in the email, but it was so weird. I instantly was like, I feel like I could get along well with this person just based on the way he used language, or I don't know, it's just
That
like a
makes
kindred
sense.
spirit kind of thing.
That's amazing. That's how you met. That's really cool.
I think
And I
that's
think
why
I wrote-
I reached out to her, because I knew listening to her, I'm like, you kind of know, like, this is a person I would vibe with. Like, this is a person who thinks kind of the way I think. And that was such a strong impression that I got listening to her that I just felt like I had to just make the attempt, like, maybe we could get to know each other, because that just seems like rare that I get that sense about a person.
Yeah.
And so then we were just friends for a while. I had just moved back from New York, right? Yes.
Yeah.
And just started that job, and I was trying to figure out what neighborhood in LA to live in. So Daniel would drive me around to go tour all these different neighborhoods.
God, yeah.
But we really got to know each other well. And then it was my birthday that year, and I thought I had to work that night. And I was actually happy that I had to work because I was like, oh, now I see. And this goes to like the personality kind of thing of like, it's just easier to not have to like figure out what am I going to do to celebrate my birthday? Am I,
Yeah.
I'll just be working. And then I forget why, but it turned out we actually didn't have a show that night. And then Daniel asked if he could take me out to dinner.
She was down in Newport Beach.
Yes. Corona Del Mar, technically.
Corona Del Mar.
And so we went to dinner. And then
All downhill from there.
we kissed that night, and we've been together ever since.
Wait, so you were into her right away from the beginning, but you just
I was
waited?
attracted to her, but
He wasn't.
No, he reached out
I
to you.
was
He-
attracted to you, but I didn't go into it with any kind of expectations that anything would happen. I was just like, if something develops, great. If not, I wasn't like,
I mean, the fact you turned out not to be a serial killer is pretty amazing.
honestly, she was sort of foolish. I mean, who knows what?
No, I mean, sounds like you guys, there was a
Yeah.
slow build. Before
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I did feel like so there's a little piece of the story that we're leaving out, which is you had a newly developed like publishing company, imprint or something.
I was in the process of I was in discussions with a publisher to publish some graphic novels, and they had come to me and said, hey, I forget what the deal was. Like they had been told that, or been asked by someone they had a partnership with to do young adult novels. Like I was just focusing on like comics, and so I was like, for some reason it occurred to me that Allison would probably be really good at that because she just has a very like childish voice, you know what I mean? Like very immature, which probably would
very,
connect.
very hairy.
Would connect with like 11-year-old. She could probably write like something that an 11-year-old would think is amazing. And
I hope you didn't say that like on the first date.
I don't know. I just had, I thought so. I had
Yeah, so before we even met,
I
he
reached out
had
and I said,
mentioned
"Hey."
this idea and kind of presented it. So, and then we made plans to meet to like
Okay,
talk more
okay,
about
so-
this. So I suspected that he liked me, but the fact that it was like a business thing made it much more comfortable for me because I
makes
think
sense,
that
yeah.
I would have felt uncomfortable meeting a quote unquote fan in this that had just reached out to me.
Yeah.
I think I would have been like, that feels, I don't know, like that makes me uncomfortable. But because this is like someone who's in the industry who had a potential opportunity for writing a book and it was like legit, then it made it so that I could meet him and not feel
Yeah,
weird
there's a
about
layer
it.
of
Yes.
comfort. with
Right,
that.
right.
I get that.
So then we did talk about, then nothing ever came of that, but then, yeah, so that was like,
Yeah.
and we met at the Standard, which is like the last
okay.
time we've gone to would you even call that a hip bar?
I mean, at the time it was on the decline, but I would say it's hip for us.
I like that. I like
You know,
Right.
It's hipper than anything you and I have gone to since. That's
That's
for
right.
sure.
I mean, who's wanting to go to like the
Not
hip
me anymore.
No, that's
bar?
why I watch Vanderpump Rules so that I can
Yeah.
see what those places are like and not have to go.
Yeah,
Exactly.
makes sense.
Yeah, that was either the best thing or worst thing. That we're still the jury's out.
Seems like it's going pretty well, just from an outside
Yeah, no, it's-
perspective. You know.
You just haven't listened to enough episodes.
Okay, well,
No, I'm just kidding.
get back to you on that.
I think it's time to say hello and welcome to the new patrons.
Allison wants to say thank you to a couple of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen.
I would like to say hello and welcome to OJ Carrasco and to Arthur Peterson. Hello, welcome. I hope you're loving all the access and all the episodes and all the other stuff. Also, I want to tell you guys that Allison Rosen is your best friend is supported by Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Tropical Smoothie Cafe believes you deserve a little vacay every day, not just once a year, Daniel. Get on Tropic Time with bright and refreshing smoothies, tropic bowls, wraps, and flatbreads. That's right, guys. They have food. It's not just smoothies. It's wraps. It's flatbreads. It's bowls. But summer mocktail smoothies are back, but for a limited time only. The Island Punch smoothie I recommend so highly. Peach, guava, passion fruit, mango, and pineapple. Mango berry Cosmo smoothie, also delicious. Watermelon mojito smoothie, also delicious. Join Tropical Smoothie Cafe for a pineapple, mango, and watermelon soiree all summer long. Visit one of Tropical Smoothie Cafe's 1,400 plus locations or order online or through their app. Okay, let's do Just Me or Everyone.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
Okay, but Jessica, if you do a webinar on how to be super friendly, outgoing,
Or a masterclass.
yes, and fun, let us know because we're going to sign up.
I just want to say, like, there's literally nothing to be gained by thinking the way I think. Because, and this is why I have such a problem with it and why I've been thinking about it a lot lately.
Isn't this reflexive defensiveness?
It's just defensiveness.
And like feeling uncomfortable and
I have residual like anger about like things that happened as a kid that just got so internalized and so projected onto other people that I feel like I can't, like, I can know that this person I just met had nothing to do with it, and yet for some reason I feel like everyone represents,
Like they remind you of someone from your childhood.
it's just I just have it just put me in this position vis-a-vis other people that was like, okay, we're all antagonists. All of you motherfuckers are my antagonist. Like, it was just so many things that were,
I didn't know this part of him when we first met.
yeah, like I had a weird childhood. And of course it was all specific to those people at that time, had nothing to do with me, and it had nothing to do with anyone else. And yet I just like, it's like I just formed in this position with this like defensive, posture. And I can let it down when I'm dealing with real individual people and talking to them. I can go get over that and go, of course, this person's fine. But the thing is that there's this lie that my brain tells me, which is like, this is good. It's good to be wary of these
that probably
people.
kept you safe at one point. So
Yes.
it sounds like one of those things where it's like that served you for a time,
yes.
and maybe it's not serving you now.
It doesn't serve me now, because even if, this is the thing, even if that person was someone who I should be wary of, I still gain nothing by being in a defensive posture with them.
Well,
because
you'll-
as an adult, what could they really do to me?
Well, you'll also see if they present something that you're like,
Yes.
this does not feel good, or I don't get a good feeling from,
Yeah.
then you'll stay away from that person.
You will.
probably.
And also, you don't allow for the possibility that you're wrong.
Well, maybe it's like exposure therapy kind of a thing, where
Yeah.
like you try it with one person who seems less like someone you hate from childhood, and you're like, oh, that actually was not too bad. Like that person was actually like much different than I thought. But the one person that probably is like triggering every part of you, where you're like, I can't stand. Maybe that's not the person you tried out with.
Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I married one. No.
All right. Just mirror everyone. Jessica, you have a couple.
I do.
Let's hear them.
Okay. So first is, do you ever dream, or you wake up and you're so annoyed at your spouse and you're like, do I fucking hate you right now? Or did I just dream that you can't tell the difference? Like, I don't know if I had a dream that we were in a fight or if it's real life. So
Yes.
that's one of mine.
I think that's got to be everyone.
Yeah. You guys, is that?
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember that specifically, like having I think although it's ringing a bell that it's happened, I'll usually
Like, the
address
way
it.
you're looking at me is making me uncomfortable.
No,
You're
but
like,
I
now
usually-
that I see you, I do
I have
hate
a
you
memory.
sometimes.
No, I have a memory of addressing it with you, like where I said,
Why'd you do that in the dream?
like, I had a dream, and so we got to,
Yeah.
but joking, but just feeling like if I address it, then the feeling will go away, because at least I'll acknowledge the fact that it's ridiculous. It was a dream. I have had the opposite, not with her, but like where when I was younger, I would have a dream about
I've
somebody
done
where
that.
I fall in love
Yeah,
with
I've
them in
done
the
this,
dream,
yeah.
and then you
You're like-
see them differently the next day.
Totally.
So I have a
Like,
crush on this guy.
Yeah.
Prince or whatever. Yeah.
Like I didn't even see you that way before,
Yeah.
but now, you know.
But then I always wonder, did some part of you have a crush on them, and that's why they
I think so.
came
I
up in
think
your
that's-
dream?
Maybe.
But sometimes it seems so random.
Yeah.
I think with that, it's like, not to get too like Jungian or anything like that, but I think that it's like it's all projection when you have a crush. You're just projecting this,
Right.
And so in the dream it happened. The projection lands on that person, and now you have that feeling. I don't know if it's excuse me. What are we
No,
doing?
I
Was it you just
comment.
tapping me? This is like the chest that you're tapping me out.
No, I was starting the clock
Oh,
again.
okay.
Oh, we have one of those.
Like a,
Period. We learned that in couple. Well, and by we I mean Nikki learned like if I'm ever going on and on, she wants me to land the plane.
Oh, yeah, what
because I didn't like the hitting under the table. Like what did I do? And so the therapist suggested period.
oh my god,
Doesn't also go over so great either.
My God, I
that's a tough one.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of having something like a wrap it up, like a red light in the back.
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
club
yeah. You
kind
got
of
5
thing.
more minutes.
Yeah.
2 more minutes.
so I want to get a second opinion. My kids, I'm sure their dentist is great. It's a popular dental outfit. But this is just to talk nonstop about therapy. This is something I actually talked with my therapist about, because I was like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I should get a second opinion, but that's such a pain in the ass. And I almost feel like my desire to get a second opinion is me being like some weird cynic or something. But she was like, isn't, and also I feel like if I take my kids to someone else, that might teach them the lesson that I don't trust this person. And she's like, or I could teach them the lesson that getting a second opinion can
Right.
be a good thing to do.
I don't think
Right.
they're aware of anything at all.
Yes. Well, so anyway, there's also that.
So they're not
So-
thinking
They're just like,
about
oh, I'm going to the dentist,
Yeah.
and it's a different dentist.
Yeah.
So for Elliot, every single child I have has something that needs to be done teeth wise.
Okay.
According to them. But so anyway.
Right.
So Elliot, we were going to do sealants, and then he also has a cavity and a baby tooth that needs to be filled. He already had a cavity and a baby tooth, different one. But the idea with that is that like these teeth are going to be in their mouth till they're 10 and blah, blah, blah. But the dentist is pregnant, so she wasn't going to do the filling because we were going to use nitrous. Yes.
Oh, you're
Doing
you're
the
trying
period.
to.
I'm doing the period.
Well, when it's the show, you can
Wrap
just
it up.
you can.
Oh, get to the point.
We have that ready to go.
I haven't even begun to get to the point.
Oh, I know. But I feel if I
Tuck
give you
in.
the period now, that'll hasten.
Right.
You know, it'll.
So anyway, I had explained to Elliot that we're probably going to go to a different dentist to see what they say, and So he's in the chair, and it's like not the dentist, but it's the hygienist, I guess, who's kind of going over the plan with me. She's like, okay, so sealants and filling the cavity. And I said, oh, actually, no, we're not going to fill the cavity today because this is what the receptionist had told me, because I mean, this is what I wanted, but they had said she wouldn't even be able to do the cavity that day. I'm like, oh, because she's not able to do the cavity that day. And then Elliot says to me, we're going to go talk to a different dentist, right? And so
in front
of the hygienist. And so I give him the like, shh, and he says, why are you telling me to be quiet?
Oh no!
And then I say, we'll talk about it later. And he's like, what are you saying? Oh my God. Oh my God. We didn't have a talk. So I brought that up because you said the hitting you under the table.
Right.
But also, he's someone who's always whispering because he doesn't want Owen, his brother, to like hear whatever for whatever reason. And when he whispers, I don't know if you have this, Jessica.
Imperceptible.
Impossible to understand because he'll come up to you and he'll be like, "Daddy, Daddy," okay, and I'm gonna come down right in my ear. He'll be like, and it's like, I think you're missing the point of whispering. Like, I do still have to be able to hear what you're saying.
That's amazing. No, my kids don't do that kind of whisper. Well, one's too little.
Yeah.
But Lennon, no, I think it would probably be like a louder whisper.
Okay,
It's
good.
not like a full whisper, or maybe I don't know. I don't want to sell him short. He might really have it down.
He might.
Elliot can be, our kids can be so loud and also so quiet. I don't know that Owen can be so quiet.
I don't know.
Elliot can.
Owen does not have quiet. Elliot has both. The middle range is the little used range in our house. That
Yes.
that perfect volume not really heard. In
No,
our
it's
house.
extremes.
The energy of two boys is a lot.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Yeah.
Owen's so fucking loud all the time. It's just crazy. And then like giving them a bath and the acoustics in the bathroom, it's just like my watch has that thing of like an alert will come up if it's too loud, and it's always like this is dangerous levels of volume. And I'll show it to them. I'll be like, guys, you're going to make your dad deaf.
Oh my gosh. I do think a second opinion is worth it when you're, because I actually did that once for an adult dentist where I was like, I feel like every time I go, they're telling me something new.
Yeah.
And then I went to a different dentist and they're like, you actually can wait on this. Let's watch this too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
So here's my question. Did you tell the other dentist what the first dentist had found, or were you just like,
No,
here's my mouth, I found it on the street?
I think, wait, what did you say? Here's my mouth.
I found it on the street. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I actually, yes, I think I said, I can't remember. It would be like me to be like, let's just see what you say.
Yeah.
I don't remember because it was a while ago, but I think I also like was ready to make a change at that time.
Did you end up going to the
The new one. I
Yeah.
did. And then that dentist out of nowhere decided, I think that she like left the practice and moved to Michigan.
Oh, geez.
So, I mean, after a while. So now, well, we'll talk dentistry later. I know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, save that.
Yeah.
definitely say
Yeah, it's mostly just, but I'm past this because I had that good therapy session about it. I'm going to do it, but it's just like the pain in the ass of making an appointment and schlepping the kids and just the whole
Absolutely,
thing.
yeah.
It just feels easier just to do whatever they say.
Of course.
That's what dentists count on.
They do.
You know, what are you going to do?
Tony, are you relating to this just me or everyone? Do you have dreams, or do you ever wake up angry at Flo and think, did I dream it?
I have not. I have, in past relationships, I've been on the other end of it.
Okay.
And I have also, I've had a much more boring version of it where it's not like a fight or anything, but literally like the next, like, did I go to the grocery store to get like, because I literally just had a dream that I went to the store as, like, how boring is that? Yeah, so that's the version.
Or maybe you just had like a really calm relationship.
Have you heard people use the excuse? I feel like I heard this one in school, maybe, where someone's like, I had a dream that I got, maybe it was work. I had a dream that I got ready for work and I came to work. Like, why are you late? I had a dream that I had a
that
dream
used to happen to me all the time, where I would, is when I would have to go into the office. And so I'd have to get up early and have my alarm go off. And I would dream that my alarm went off and I got dressed and and then I would wake up. That happened all the time.
But I mean, using it as an excuse for why you're late.
Oh, no. Come on. You can't.
No, I know. I think it's clever and ridiculous when people try to. Okay, you had another just mirror everyone.
Oh, like when you're traveling, as I just was, and if you're in the airport and there's an old person in front of you and you're trying to be respectful, and then there's some guy behind you, like very aggressively trying to get around you. Do you ever think like, well, if I can't go in front of them, you're certainly not. So you kind of like move over to take over the lane.
I'm sure I have done this. I'm sure I have done this.
Because it just bothers me. I'm like, I'm trying to be polite. Look, you don't think I want to go too?
Yeah.
But it's the nice thing to do. You let this 90-year-old woman who, could be one heart attack, 1 second
This
away
could
from
be
a heart
her last
attack.
traveling, her
Right.
last trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel that way on the road too.
It does translate.
When someone
to the
tries to
road.
honk through
Yes, right.
It's like, you see there's someone in front of me, you fucking asshole. Like are they expecting you to like, hey, you're not doing enough. You're not doing your part
Right,
to
right.
like intimidate the person in front of you.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a just me or everyone.
Let's hear it.
But it's a little one. I realized today that whenever I open, like, if I have an old comic book, like a comic book from like the 60s or 70s or something like that, or even 80s, or like a very old book, I reflexively smell it. Like I want to sniff it.
Interesting.
Like I love the smell of old newsprint or old books.
I have a museum for you.
Yeah.
There's a book museum, or no, is it? I can't remember if it was at. Is it at? It's in New York. Not the Whitney. I don't know. One floor of some
The Guggenheim?
Maybe it's the Guggenheim. One floor is like an old book museum, and they preserve old books. And
Do they just sniff the books?
I bet you.
They have a sniffing section?
We could look into it. We can see if you could just get in there and sniff for a while.
What about a museum for smells?
They should have
That should
I
be.
bet that
I'll
exists.
bet. Yeah, I was gonna say it has to exist.
I bet it's in Japan. I'm going to look it up in Japan.
Yeah, you have a good shot
Right?
at that.
That would be great.
There are definitely like all kinds of like a poop museum or like a bread museum.
I don't
It's
need a
just-
poop museum. I
Yeah.
don't need
Well,
that
you
stuff.
might get
You
the
say
smell,
that, but
right.
But a smell-oriented museum would be pretty fucking cool.
There is one in New York City and there's one in Berkeley, California.
Wow.
what kind of what exhibits do they have?
I wasn't prepared for questions.
Jesus, Allison.
What was your just mayor everyone that you just said?
Just that I
Oh,
reflexively
you smell
will
books, yeah,
smell an
old
comic
books.
book.
I smell everything, so I would do that too.
I'm not a big smell guy, but that yours reminded me of something that I can't believe I've never done as a JMO on here. This doesn't happen to me as much anymore. Probably because I don't end up in bookstores as much. I feel like bookstores aren't as much of a thing these days. But when I used to go in bookstores a lot, every single time I would have to poop.
That's
This is
the
a thing.
Yes. That's so funny. I had a
Yeah.
feeling you were going to say that when you were going there.
There's articles about it.
Yeah.
And what is it? It's like it's a relaxing environment, and so you're
Some people get it in like big box stores too.
yes,
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
I didn't know.
Do you get it in Target? That's another place.
Yeah.
Apparently.
No, I'm at Target all the time.
Okay.
I'd be doing a lot of poop.
I don't think I'm afraid to say it because I'm afraid if I say it, then
Right.
it's going to happen to me. But I don't think I've ever had that experience where I'm in a store and then I'm like, oh shit, literally.
But apparently, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
common.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought that maybe it started for me from touring because I feel like half the time being on tour is trying to find a place that you can
Right.
And you know, a
Can't
bookstore is
go.
going to be pretty clean.
Yeah. So a lot of times that would be, if they were, there's a Barnes and Noble here.
I think I've asked this, but I have to ask it again. How do you communicate to the people on your tour bus that like, guys, I've got to go to the bathroom?
I think
Do you say,
just-
could I use it when you're done?
Wait, you're
I was just making a dumb joke,
Oh,
but
okay.
I
Sorry.
am legitimately I'm legitimately asking. How do you say like we need to find a facility for me
Is
to
there
go
like poop
number
etiquette
2?
on the tour bus?
you can't.
You can't.
Yeah,
Because if someone does that, the whole place
It's
stinks.
it
What if it starts off as a number one and then someone has
Right.
a surprise? I guess for a guy that, I mean, I don't know, do you tour with women too? Or
yeah.
okay, so that would be more of a woman
Right.
situation because I think
That's
if you're
definitely
standing
happened
up,
to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the bus companies too will like literally fine you and stuff too. I think
Oh,
there
really?
are some that you can. They have these like grinders in the toilet, I guess.
oh wow,
Ew.
But yeah, you can't only pee. Only liquid in the toilet on the bus. You're not even supposed to put toilet paper in there.
Not unless you're the Dave Matthews Band.
Exactly.
God, what if you have your period?
yeah, that's a tough bus situation.
Right.
So yeah, how do you let them know? Like, hey, it's number 2 time,
Well,
or do they let you know?
we're driving through the night, so like we're usually asleep, or I've literally never had to do that. So
And have you ever heard someone else do that?
I know it's happened for other people. Like there's been emergency situations before where somebody had to go in a bag,
Oh, my god!
no.
What kind
Yeah.
of bag?
So
a trash bag.
they just would not stop, or
No, it's just,
they had
well,
to go
there was
that badly?
they had to go that badly, and there was no immediate stop. And,
Wow.
And the bus
Did
driver
they-
wouldn't just pull over?
Yeah, that's what
I think
thinking.
it just didn't happen quickly
Fast
enough.
enough?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
fast enough to get pants or to pull your pants down and be like, well, hold on to someone
Yeah.
in the bag.
Right. Now, did they line the toilet with the bag? That's what I would do. Or did they just hold the bag there and just...
I really don't know. I didn't ask too many questions. This was quite a while ago.
That is a good question. That's a
Okay.
good method, though.
Yeah,
I
you should probably
need to
think about
know.
it now in case you're ever in that situation.
Yeah.
You've
I would
already-
carry a bag. Yeah.
Right. I would line the toilet with the bag unless there's liquid in there, which there's not, right?
But it depends on how big the
there
bag
can be
is.
a tiny. Yeah, the toilets aren't too deep either.
Are we getting into the consistency of the poo? Is
Oh
that
yeah,
what
that's
the shit? I
no,
guess
no,
you
no,
could-
no. I'm just thinking that blue liquid is going to get on the other side of the bag, which is going to be gross.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Right.
maybe there's just really no right way to poop in a bag.
Speaking of which, in Japan, every toilet is a bidet. One of those, it's a they have fancy bidets everywhere you go.
That was the first time I ever experienced one.
Yeah.
And that's when I fell in love.
It's the
Yeah, everyone
cleanest
says that. They
butt
said they'll
in the
never go back to another method after.
No, it's ridiculous in this country
Yeah.
how dirty our butts are.
It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It really does. Now in China, they have holes in the ground and you squat over the hole.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been able to get on board with that.
I forget where I only had to pee in one, but I have experienced one of those before. It was just like a weird hole in the floor in just like a
squat.
public bathroom. It was very strange.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you guys play in China?
No, that's what I'm saying. I can't remember where I was that I experienced this, but I definitely did experience that at least once. Yeah.
So we have some Just Mirror Everyone's from listeners that they called in.
Hey, this is Brett from Cincinnati. I've got a Just Mirror Everyone, I think. I'm actually sitting here trapped in traffic driving from Nashville back home. Taking forever to get home. Not happy. My JMO is, does it drive you crazy when people leave time on the microwave? The people I work with do that all the time, and for some reason, I find that infuriating.
It's wasteful.
Yes, I know it's one button push to clear their time off so I can set mine, but that's exactly my point, why I find it so annoying. Don't leave me your cleanup time. I don't need your 13 seconds. Anyway, again, Brett from Cincinnati.
My old boss used to hate that. I'm trying
It
to
bugs
think.
me.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like I could see in a work environment being annoyed by it.
Like push your own clear button.
But
Why do they make you do
considering, but I leave time on the microwave all the time at this house. Does that bother you, Daniel?
It really doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge microwave user though, so
He didn't even have a microwave when we met.
Really? And that was a personal choice of like I
lived in an older
believe it.
apartment that didn't have one, but I didn't bother to buy one.
Okay.
And I just was like fine without it. Use the oven.
He was
use
a
the stove.
toaster oven guy.
Wow, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
She didn't think so.
Well, I rely on a microwave.
Yeah.
A lot. So, especially more then because I was.
You go through microwaves like other people go through shoes. Like every couple years, you need a new microwave.
What are you doing to this microwave?
I don't know. They
Yeah.
break on me. Maybe I'm overusing them.
Yeah.
Do you still have your
Extra microwave turntable that we got rid of a mic. Our microwave died.
We had 2 microwaves die on us
Not in this house.
You might want like my other webinar about how to use
in our life.
microwave.
Oh, really?
In our life, yes. But so anyway, yes, I did keep the turntable because you just never know when you're going to need another one.
Sure.
Yeah. Does anyone own a Lazy Susan anymore? I feel like that's a thing of the past.
our place came with one in our cabinet.
Nice.
It's a good thing to have in a cabinet.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Ours is a semi. She's like a little lazy. Like it turns. Yeah.
A lazy
I think
Susan.
it's considered a lazy Susan.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to do a full 360, right? Just a.
Yeah.
Just a small pivot.
Yeah.
In China, Lazy Susans are more common because you have lots of small dishes and you just like.
Oh, that's kind of a good
Yeah.
idea.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. But now it's more, cabinet as a cabinet feature.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
What do you put on it?
Oh, just all kinds of, you name it.
What don't you put on?
Spices.
Base, yeah,
Pringles.
herbs and spices.
Pringles.
Yeah,
Gravy.
they're actually no,
Cookies.
it's
Shoes.
actually kind of where we have a lot of our like pans and stuff.
Yeah,
down
same
there.
with-
Oh,
Yeah.
pants.
It's for us. There's like
Wow.
yeah, it's
Wasn't
not Tupperware,
expecting that.
the glass
Yeah.
Tupperware kind
Right.
of situation, and
Yeah.
So this must be big. A big
Yeah, it's
rotating.
pretty, it's pretty big
Is this one of those weird corner cabinets?
yes,
Aha.
yeah,
on the floor. Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
that's what
In my apartment in Brooklyn had one of those weird corner cabinets, but it had nothing inside, like no shelves and no Lazy Susan situation. So I just like would throw, it became just the area where I threw stuff that I didn't know where to put. But I remember seeing somewhere that this is where those rotating Lazy Susans.
My dream is to live in a
Go.
place that has a dumbwaiter.
Dumbwaiter.
Those little
Yes.
elevators where it
Yeah.
just goes down from the kitchen to the dining room.
Yeah.
That's
I wonder
what-
why they call them dumbwaiters.
I was just thinking that about Lazy Susan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, they're pretty hard on these appliances.
Right. I mean, do they mean dumb like mute,
I don't know why they're called that.
Tony?
On it.
But also,
No follow up questions this time.
okay, we'll wait then
Well,
because
yeah.
we have more voicemails to listen to. But this is worth it.
The dumb waiter as a kid just felt like magic. Like, I guess any kind of elevator in a house, of
Yeah.
big or small,
Yeah.
is just like, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
It is a huge
Yeah.
deal. They're very exciting.
Yeah,
I had
'cause
a-
most houses don't.
I still remember this dream because it was one of the best dreams I ever had. There were it was like Narnia. There were 3 little doors in the back of my closet. And one of them led to a roller coaster. One of them led to an escalator. And I don't know what the other one led
This
to.
is great.
Whoa.
Thank you for sharing.
Well, it relates to the elevator, okay?
You gotta, I mean, yeah.
Come on, a roller coaster and an escalator in the back of your closet. How cool is that?
Gosh, now I want to know what the third thing
I
was.
know. Maybe it was an elevator
Yeah.
Or a dumbwaiter.
or a dumbwaiter.
yeah.
We had a trash chute in
That's
one of the
pretty cool.
apartments I lived in. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, like anything like that, or like the tall buildings where you have the mail chute where you drop it down. Those are just very exciting.
Well, it's gratifying to like hear
The pneumatic tube, yeah.
yeah. Okay,
All right.
Tony.
Okay. This says the name for the dumbwaiter likely came from its ability to act as a silent servant, using the outdated term dumb for someone who doesn't speak.
I was right.
Wow.
Also, I want you to know that this comes from a website called inclinator.com, and there's a big article, The History of Dumbwaiters.
Ooh,
Wow, can't wait to tear into that later.
that's a long read that I could get with. Okay, another voicemail, please.
Hey, Allison and Daniel. This is Ricardo from Brooklyn. Just had a quick JMO for you. Just me, everyone. I have a very methodical and specific way to dry myself after a shower. I hate the feeling of wet clothes on my body, so I have to do specific sequence for what body part, what part of the towel to use just to make sure that I'm fully dry when I'm done. And if I get distracted by something and I forget where I left off, I have to kind of restart to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Oddly enough, my wife is the opposite. She, I think, dries her face and maybe a little bit of her hair, but otherwise walks out of the shower completely just dripping everywhere. So not sure if it's just me or everyone. Thanks. Have a good week. Bye.
His wife is pure chaos.
I'm interested in different parts of the towel for different, like, my towel doesn't have that many parts. I guess there's like that flat ribbony part, but basically, and how does that work?
Are you fully dry when you get out of the shower?
Fuck no. How could one be
Yeah,
fully dry when they get out of the shower?
Who is?
Are you bringing
Unless
your towel?
you're hanging out in there, in which case you could cause a conflict.
Well, no, but you don't try to like dry yourself off with the towel
So
first.
I have started doing, and this harkens back to the very, very early days of this show, because this was a common shower techniques were a common thing that came up. I have actually started doing the shower squeegee. I don't mean the
We do
one
that.
on the window.
Oh.
I mean,
Well,
which I
but
do.
we do that.
But the shower door,
Yeah,
I mean, no. Like where you take your hands and you just kind of like brush off the excess water. And it does, you'd be surprised at how much
if you're
it
if you're
makes
concerned,
you less dry. Less wet.
if you don't want like a damp towel, I guess you could do that. But like
I do
you're
it more
dry,
'cause
the
I don't
towel's
want a
still
wet
going to be
floor.
doing.
I don't want wet floor.
Yeah,
is what
I
don't
like
want.
to do, well, first of all, you use a rug, right? Like a bath mat.
Yeah.
So I definitely do. His sounds a little OCD.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. It just sounds a little bit that way. But I I'll dry like my legs and like my arm. You know, I try to, I don't want to drip everywhere on the floor.
Right.
Either.
I'm trying to think. So brush myself off in the shower, and then I open the shower door, and then I lament all the water that's falling off the door onto the ground. And then I grab,
Okay, and then you grab the towel.
yeah. But I'm still standing in the shower. I'm on the edge of the shower when I grab the towel, and I wrap it around me as I'm exiting the shower.
So you're not using the towel to dry yourself.
Hang on. But then I've got to take the towel to my hair.
Oh, you use one for both. You don't use
No, I use a different one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've got one towel around my body, and then I've got the towel wrapped around my hair, and then I wrap the towel around me, and I go to the mirror, and I probably like begin putting shit on my face. But I'm probably drying myself off with the towel at that point. Any excess.
Maybe that guy needs a robe, like a long.
Oh, don't
shower
let's not
robe.
get into robes.
Oh, I know. I did hear that
yeah,
part.
robes.
Okay, I do know
Robes.
that's a
But
hot
did you
button.
my eyes lit up.
Robes.
My eyes, I got so excited.
Well,
Robes
also-
and potato salad are my passion.
By the way, I thought of you today because I did see in the New York Times it said like if you want a non-mayonnaise-y kind of potato
Oh
salad.
my God.
I was like, I know just the person to send this to.
And it's a recipe for a non-mayonnaise.
Yeah, but I think you have to have a subscription to the cooking section, which I don't. So it's a real cliffhanger for me at this point.
I don't know.
Yeah, I bet you could Google it and like find it
Probably. Yes. So
on the black market.
I bet. On the dark web.
Yeah.
What if the dark web
Yeah.
is just
It's
the
just New York
paywalled
Times.
articles?
Potato salad recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I do. What do you do, Daniel?
Well, I put the towel because we have this insane bathroom that doesn't have like a towel rack near the shower.
Okay.
Who designs this? So I have to throw the towel over the
Right.
the glass thing.
Yeah.
And so then I'll just grab it and I'll just dry myself off before I
In the
step
shower.
out of the shower because I don't want water to get everywhere and now I'm dry.
Problem with
like
that
a
is
normal,
I
sane
feel
person.
like the towel.
I do the exact same thing.
Thank you, Tony.
Does the towel get wet from hitting the side of
No.
the shower?
I mean,
do, yeah.
occasionally the edge might get a little wet, but who cares? It's a
I
towel.
want to bring the towel into that environment.
It's the
You
towel's
just like
job.
barely hang it over.
Yeah. Oh, you mean when it's hanging over the... No,
I know I don't even mean that, but also that.
No, the towel does not get wet. I'm an adult. I can control my towel.
What do you do?
Well, I do wear a robe. Like I'll
Same.
usually use a bathrobe.
Yeah.
And I feel so I'll put that on in the shower. But
Okay.
then I don't bring it in the shower with me while I'm showering. That would be just
No.
reckless. But I do. My hook is. I don't mean to brag. Mine's reachable. Our
Yeah.
hook.
No.
Must be nice.
So
La-dee-da.
yeah. Living the good life. But so I will. But if it's not, if I take a bath or do like I mean, we're getting into some intimate details here. But no, if I want to, if I'm in the bath, then I'll bring it over. And I would put it like on the counter or on the ground next to it so that it's readily accessible. And then I would, if it's the bath, I'd put it on in the bath and then step over and be on the bath mat and, dry off a little like with.
So the robe is doing the bulk of the work here?
Yeah. I mean, I'll listen, it doesn't do itself. I have to help it. But yeah.
Tell me about this robe.
It's
A
like,
robe that does the work. That would be amazing. It just starts to like
Yeah.
caress your body and
But like if it's
dry you up.
long enough and you can just, use the bottom to like wipe your legs. You can use the sleeves.
Right.
To, like,
Is it a terry
it has to be
cloth robe?
yes. I feel like it kind of has to be
What
to
color?
white.
I have a passion
you?
for robes. I do love talking about that.
What's
Mine is it's the Pottery Barn Dream Robe, plush dream robe. It's cotton, but it's not terry cloth. It's like a very
Okay.
it's like a very fluffy,
okay?
but it's not specifically terry.
But is it absorbent?
I haven't really put it through its paces. I mean,
Wow. So do you use it after you dry
yeah,
it with a towel?
I do.
Oh, so
And
that's a whole
but
different.
I also put it on in the morning over my nightgown. Or like I mostly just wear it as just a jacket in the house, a coat in the house.
I thought of a missing piece to this whole thing.
Okay.
So I will also usually do so. Let's say that I got out of the shower, I have my robe on, like maybe I'm brushing my teeth next, or one other step that it's all right. My body's drying while that's happening. So
Right.
it's a much easier wipe down process after.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mostly just put on my makeup and dry my hair naked. So by that point, I'm dry.
Okay.
But I haven't. Sometimes I put on my robe, though.
Well, it sounds like you have a special attachment to the robe. Though.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, I don't know whether
the whole
you
thing.
must have heard. I don't know
I
whether
did,
to bring
I
it to
did.
Japan or not, because according to Tony over here, you don't need to.
Yeah.
No, that's not. I never said that.
I think you
Because
said no need.
these are very different. These aren't.
I
like,
know.
Yeah, they're not like robes for drying.
Well, no, but
Yeah.
are they ceremonial robes or are they robes for
Yes.
being comfy in?
Yeah, they're more like
For being comfy in?
Yeah.
That's my main thing I need a robe for.
Just consider
you'll be
how
in luck
much
then.
space a robe takes
I
in
know.
a suitcase.
Those are a lot thinner, at least, though.
Well, I'm just saying, you just get
Yeah.
the robe there.
Well, are you going to be doing a lot of like hanging out in the hotel room?
Sounds like it, but given how hot and gross it's going to be.
Okay.
We always do anyway.
But maybe you want to buy a robe there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's what
I know.
I'm
I was
saying.
saying to the kids, I'm like, we should buy pajamas because they kind of need new pajamas. We should buy pajamas there.
Honestly, like you pointed out, the Amazon Japan, everything is so much cheaper
Yeah.
in Japan.
That's what I was saying. Anything that we need,
Oh,
that we're
you
going to
could-
need there, we should order there because it's cheaper than here.
For sure.
Unless
Oh,
we
well,
need
then
it
you don't
right
even
away.
need to bring it. I feel like the world is your oyster with this robe situation.
Right.
This is true. Although I wasn't planning on bringing another robe into my life, but I mean, I could.
But you have to leave it there too. So it's only temporary. It's like a little fling.
Oh,
it's like
no.
it's like
I will not.
it's
How many robes do you own?
I only have one.
Oh, I thought you were saying you have like a collect-
No,
okay,
I only
okay.
have one.
This is like you're lost in translation. Like you'll whisper something into the robe before you leave.
Yeah. And what was it that I
no
said?
one knows. No one knows what you said.
But it's because she whispers like Elliot.
Yeah.
Yes. Do we have
Let's
more?
do one more.
All right.
Allison and Daniel. Just me or everyone from Vince, your neighbor in Burbank. Just me or everyone, or does pretty much everyone leave the toilet lid up after flushing the toilet, except for me? This is a theory that I've low-key tested in my own apartment when people come over to visit and they use my bathroom. Honest to God, everyone leaves the toilet up, and I feel like I'm the only person in my friend group, potentially on Earth, that lowers the lid and then flushes the toilet and leaves the toilet lid down. So just me or everyone, I really hope it's not just me. It's your neighbor Vincent Burbank. Ciao.
Okay. This is in the same way that needing to poop in a store is a thing. Flushing with the lid down is a thing that TikTok will tell you should do
Because it releases particles in the
Yes,
air. when
it
it's
But
like-
flushed.
I just heard really bad news in that, and I still do it because it doesn't make sense to me. Someone told me that even when you shut the lid, the particles get released.
because of the
But I don't-
force of it.
I don't know. I didn't really. I probably
Right.
should have followed up more on that, but it's to me logically, I still feel better closing the lid
Yes.
because I feel like it probably will have a
Aerosolizes.
less- yeah.
Right. I don't always, but oftentimes this is what happens. The toilet seat is up. I flush it. I reach down to like pick something off the floor, and then I realize I'm putting my face so close to this toilet seat. How I'm not only am I not following their advice,
You're steering into the crash.
yes, I'm making it so much worse. I'm basically just huffing toilet.
But also, like, if you lower the seat and then flush, then you have to raise it back up. But you have to listen for when it's done. And
That's what he
just leaves it down.
Yeah. He just
no,
leaves it
but
down.
how do you know that the toilet did the job? So many toilets don't do the full job.
Not only are you defensive with people, you're distrustful of everything.
No, I am very distrustful of toilets. I have been burned by toilets.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Well,
so-
also, didn't you want? I feel like my mom once told me it's like polite to put the lid down after. Like, isn't that kind of a thing too? I don't know.
when you're done, sure,
Yeah.
I can see that. I feel like that's another generation's idea. of
Yeah,
polite,
it kind of because you don't see a lot of closed lids when you go to the bathroom at someone's
Right.
house.
I feel like and decorating the lid of a toilet was more of a thing.
Like with a little rug.
Oh, like a
Yeah, like those things with the ties around or the crochet or the
what a gorgeous look.
yeah.
Yeah, there was so much macrame in bathrooms. Little like Kleenex covers and
Right,
toilet
right.
paper covers. Just, I'm thinking about the fact that you have to see it go down to be sure it went down.
Well, the bathroom in our master bathroom, the toilet doesn't always get everything on the first try.
So I've been lucky, I guess.
Have you?
So, but even with pee, that's how you are? Or are you just talking about?
No.
Okay.
Just with where there's material stuff. I don't care with pee. Listen, you got to draw the line somewhere, you know? Yeah.
I think you're supposed to put it down no matter what.
No, I hear that. I'm saying though, when
He
it
likes to
comes
check
the-
his work.
Yes.
I don't want to leave you with a surprise.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Going back to what a thoughtful communication situation.
So that's why he's in there for so long.
I'm just making sure everything's spick and span.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be easier for you to give him a little more room next
Thank
time.
you.
Since you know he's half his.
I'm only in there being
right.
considerate
To be
of
considerate.
you.
That's half his work in there.
Tony, do you put the lid down?
I put it down, I think, after I flush. I'm not even really following this whole. What is this all about? Putting
You're supposed
it down
to put the lid
before
down.
You flush?
Yeah, before
And
you
then
flush. Because when you flush, the force of the flush or the pressure kicks up a bunch of particles from your toilet onto your toothbrush or in your room or whatever.
That really is a hard one to digest.
That's what they say.
You're just huffing.
Yeah, I mean,
particles.
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard about the bathroom is really the worst place to keep your toothbrush. I've heard that. I'd never heard this.
Think
toilet seat down thing.
a tray table on an airplane. That's where I keep my toothbrush. They say those are never ever cleaned.
Or the ice machine in an airplane.
Okay, international travel question.
Yes.
We don't have global entry.
I don't either.
We don't either.
Okay, and you just went through customs.
Yes. So we had a layover in Chicago and we had your TSA pre-check works there, but not in other countries. I'm pretty sure it's only in the U.S.
I just came from Canada and I was able to use it in Canada.
Okay, so maybe
So I don't know
North
We do have
America.
TSA
Yeah,
pre-check.
maybe it's just North America. I don't know.
But my understanding is it can make going through customs much longer.
Yes.
Did you have a nightmare customs experience? Did you
Well,
have a
that
nightmare
was-
customs experience?
No, I mean, it's annoying. It's just waiting in line, but it's
Yeah.
usually
What was it,
not.
hours or anything?
No.
Okay.
You can do mobile passport. Do you know about that?
no,
That
tell me.
speeds it up a little. Did you do that? Where there's an app?
Do you load your passport into
yes,
it?
Yes.
Yes, I did do that for the first time. In Canada.
But it was a little confusing because I feel like it let us go faster on one part of the line, but then not. And then when I said I have low tolerance for people in airport, at that point I was done.
Yeah.
And people were very annoying, I felt, in line. But yeah, it does speed it up a little bit.
I feel like in Japan we're going to be the annoying ones.
Well, the thing about Japan is they tell you that there's a lot of customs and a lot of, they're very particular about certain things. Like they don't like a lot of noise. They don't like you to smell too much. Don't wear a deodorant that has a scent, and things like this. And we're loud people.
Yeah, I feel like
mostly
I would
because
be
we
pretty
have
annoying, too.
we have children who are loud. That
I wouldn't call us loud people. I would say we have loud children.
Well, we're a loud family. And so if we're on the subway or the train where everyone's super quiet, we will not be the ones that are super quiet.
Apparently they make allowances for kids though.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is you can you can watch a lot of videos and stuff about this and they'll freak you out because they're like, "Oh, Japanese people will secretly hate you even though they'll be polite to your face," because there's a very it's a very passive aggressive culture, but people aren't direct with how they feel. They'll be one way and then they feel another way. However, I think it doesn't apply to tourists. They understand, unless you're being loud, obnoxious. They will, of course, hate
I'm
you,
sure
but who
most
wouldn't?
people hate Americans.
Who
I feel
wouldn't? But if you're just nice and respectful, and then you're just not bowing here or doing this there, they're not going to hold that against you. There are a lot of accounts that'll make you fear that they would, but Japanese people understand that you don't know all of their customs.
Wait,
and
how much bowing are we supposed to be doing? Because I haven't read up or watched any videos
don't worry
on
about
bowing.
it.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Fine.
You do not have to worry about it. If you wanted to worry about it, you can learn about all their bowing customs.
Are you worrying about it?
No, because it doesn't apply to us.
Okay.
Now, if we lived and worked in Japan, then there would be don't use they have three different. It's almost like three different languages where you speak one way to people who are older than you or a boss, and then you speak another way to people who are your peer, and another way to children. And if you use these words for those people, it's an insult, and it's not. It doesn't matter. It does. They're not going to be pissed. They get it. You're an American, so I don't know.
Are we going to see a lot of bowing?
Yeah,
bowing. They bow instead of shaking hands.
Yeah, literally,
and
you'll walk in a store and they'll.
And then did you bow back?
I often you just find yourself kind of I would half-ass it, more of a head nod.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's just polite to like. It's like learning to shake hands or something. They'll like bow when they're on the phone too. Like it's just like so much ingrained in there. But
I gotta learn about this bowing.
Yeah, you should. You need to learn all about it.
I'm gonna learn all about it. We actually have one more.
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
Hi, Allison and Daniel. This is Erin from Allen, Texas. My just me or everyone is when I'm watching a TikTok video or a YouTube video and they're in the bathroom, I close my eyes if I think they're going to pan down to the toilet because I'm so afraid it's going to be gross and it will gross me out. Is that just me or everyone? Thanks. It's been Erin from Allen, Texas. Thank you. Bye.
It's not me. I don't do that. Maybe now I'll start.
I don't think
Might
I've
be
ever
just
been a
you,
fan of
Erin.
that.
Do that.
Yeah, me neither.
I like it though. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I don't love it when people are doing TikToks in their bathroom generally, but that's because I want you to put a little more care into it. You know, come on,
Sure.
give me a background.
Right.
Let's do Podcast Pals product picks.
Oh yeah. This is the thing we do on the show. Told you, I forgot everything.
Podcast Pals product picks.
All right, Jessica, do you have one?
I do. I have a book that only took me about 3 years to read, but I finally finished it in Greece. And a product that I find pretty helpful. You want to hear about the book?
Yes, I would like to.
Okay.
And
have
the
you-
product.
A Little Life.
I
Have you
don't
guys-
know it.
It's really good, but it's 800 pages. This, like these days with ADD and just everything going on in the world and kids and everything, I feel like I'm so distracted by my phone. It's really hard to like sit and focus. But on this book, for me, it was kind of a slow start. It wasn't until I feel like 350 or closer to 400 that I got to the point where I was like, oh, this is why everyone says it's so good. And then I got really into it and I read like the rest of it on the trip. But it's a really good book.
What's it about? Is it fiction?
It is. And it follows a friend group like from their 20s to adulthood, and then kind of focuses more in on one of the main characters. Kind of two of that. Well, it's pretty in depth. Like it's, 800 pages. So they have a lot to say about all the characters, but it's I don't want to give it away if you do ever want to read it.
Sounds really good.
But it's
long.
But it's, it's sad. It's also like it's really well written and it's great. It's very compelling, but I feel like I'm not really giving much about the plot.
That's okay.
'Cause I'm scared that I would
Yeah, you don't
give
want to.
stuff away.
All right. And then what's your product?
The product is a cell phone stand, and it's just a really good one. I don't remember the name of it, but I have the link. I have it written down. And it's just convenient. Like you can put your, if you don't want to hold your phone, like let's say if you're eating and you want to look at something. Of course, no one here wants to do that because you want to be present,
Right.
talk to family, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, does it charge your phone as well?
No, but I bet they do make one like that.
Yeah, well, that was someone else's recommendation. So now I'm curious which is yours that you're recommending. So we will put this in the Amazon shop because you'll send me a link.
Okay.
Does anyone else have one?
Well, I have this thing that you put in the freezer, and when you make coffee, it like has it's like a thermos, but it freezes the outside and then like an inside core, and you pour your coffee in there, your hot coffee, and it almost instantly like cools it down. So you can make iced coffee without diluting the coffee with ice.
That's a good one.
It's pretty great.
I have a book to recommend. It's called No One Tells You This, and it's by Glynis McNichol. And then she has a new one. It's a memoir, and she has a new one that just came out that I'm reading right now called I'm Mostly Here
To
to
enjoy
Enjoy
myself.
That's what it's called, right?
I think so.
I suddenly questioned why she's mostly here. I think it's just I'm mostly here to enjoy myself. Yeah, it's really good. She is 47, not married, no kids, no desire to get married or have kids, and talks about how there's not really like that path isn't really offered for women. So the first book, both of the books are about, but it's not a scholastic book. But it is really compelling and really, boy, I feel like I've lost.
Wow. I feel like I'm reading it.
The first one, her mom has dementia, and so she's dealing with losing her mom. And then she goes, I think, to Montana. And it's really, really good. And then the second one that I've only just started, she goes to Paris by herself for a month during the pandemic. And so we're just kind of getting into that. But yeah, I recommend it. She's a really good writer, Glynis McNichol.
The whole like the way that society looks down at any, especially women who choose not to have kids or get married, you know, it really just, we're all just jealous.
It's interesting.
You know, it's like I look at people who are like childless, and I just go, you fucking don't know how good you have it.
In the new one, she's talking a little bit about her experience, because a lot of people wanted to turn her first one, No One Tells You This, into a movie or a TV show, but they couldn't figure out how to do it.
Oh, right.
Because it's this question of like, well, what problem is she trying to solve?
What are the relationships?
Yes, exactly. And she didn't say this, but you can sort of read between the lines that she didn't want to change it into a story of a woman who
eventually gets in a relationship.
Exactly.
Right. They would probably try to take it in that direction. Of,
yes, like there has to be a love story in this thing that's supposed to be about. The point is there's flings, but there's not a love story.
Has there been a movie where the woman in the end chooses to be alone, like as a positive?
Good question.
I don't know. I'm sure there has been, but
yeah.
Like I could see it working if they follow like all of her dating experiences, and maybe there's like a will they or won't they, but they just don't. I don't know.
But still, it's like we want that. It's kind of like what are the stakes? What are the what's the arc? You know, and the whole point kind of is that like there doesn't have to be an arc. You can just enjoy your life.
I'm just saying, like, the choice to be single is never presented as a good outcome.
Right. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Be an interesting pitch.
I feel like 6 Feet Under sort of did that with the mom a little bit, right? Did you watch 6 Feet Under?
I did, but it was so long ago. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched maybe 1 or 2 seasons. I don't remember.
We got to go back to that. Ended well. We were watching it, and then I forget why we stopped. Tony, do you have one?
I have an extremely specific one that will maybe appeal to 3 people.
Perfect.
But DW Drums, the company that I play and work with, they just came out with a thing they're called DWE, and they are real drums, but they're also electronic drums.
Oh, neat.
Oh,
and it's so fucking cool. Like you can, I just got them right before. I still have to like learn things and play with them some more and figure it all out. But the little bit they're done, it's so cool because you can change the heads, and it's either electronic or you could put real heads on it. And to look at them, they're just real drums. But it's really fucking cool, and they're completely wireless. I don't understand how that works at all.
So can they be silent?
Cool. Yeah, I mean they are silent. I mean, the thud obviously hitting it, but yeah, like I play them with headphones on, and it's crazy. I do not understand it. Like literally no wires. I hook up a little thing to my computer that is just like sends out a signal or something, and just the drums send it to that, and it's insane.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Will you tour with those?
No. This is more like for home, just playing at home and recording at home and stuff. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Well, everyone, this has been too much fun. Jessica, where might we find you? Or is there anything you'd like to plug?
I mean, I write on a show now. I'm not doing as many live shows these days, so we don't have to do a plug. Right? You can watch Funny You Should Ask.
Yeah.
That's the show that I write on.
And tell it, what is that show?
So it's a panel. Actually, well, it's a
Funny
panel.
You Should Ask.
Yeah, it's a panel of comedians, and it's a trivia show where they're answering their questions with jokes. So we write all their jokes and the trivia. And it's really fun. It just has a panel of comedians. I think I said that.
Funny You Should Ask. I'm going to go look it up.
I was going to mention some of the people that are on it, but then.
But do you not want to?
No, we can't. Well, Adam Carolla, he's one of the people.
God damn
it. Okay. But he's on it sometimes. And then like Whitney Cummings is on a lot. Jamie Kennedy, Jeff Ross, Howie Mandel, John Lovitz, Tiffany Haddish is on. It's fun.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of.
It's a good.
And I write with all comedians that I've known for years, so that's really fun.
Where does it air?
It airs. It's.
Or should we just Google it?
Yeah, depending on where you are. It airs in different
syndicated?
places. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds really good.
Thanks.
Daniel, what about you?
What do you mean?
Where do we find you?
I'm right here.
Okay.
Where the fuck am I? What do you mean? Follow me on Instagram. For some reason.
Daniel Quantz.
Daniel Quantz. I don't know.
Tony, what about you?
I'm home now. I got nothing
Love it.
going on.
Love it.
That's great.
Wonderful. And follow me everywhere at Allison Rosen on TikTok. I'm the Allison Rosen. Follow my YouTube, or subscribe to my YouTube, youtube.com/Allison Rosen. And my merch store, guys, there's merch available, and you can just go to allisonslinks.com, and then you can get to all of that stuff, including Patreon and Substack.
Substack.
Oh, love it. I would like to thank all of you. Thank you so much, listeners. Thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen show? We had a good time, but now we gotta go. Yeah, Allison Rosen is your new best friend.